not your fault for what happens to you, but it is your responsibility for what you do about it. If you keep hanging on to that victim mentality, you are going to keep suffering. I know in situations and I know in certain circumstances, a lot of things that happen to us is not our fault. You know, whether we grew up in a toxic family, you know, our friends has betrayed us, they hurt us, you know, life has been so hard for us, you know, we are struggling. Some of us grew up in poverty, you know, maybe some of us don't have parents, we don't have support. I sympathize and I empathize with people that are going through that, but I had to learn this the hard way. It is your responsibility to get up, to show up for yourself, to better your life. No one can do the work for you. You have to do it on your own, because at the end of the day, the narrative does expire. You cannot keep blaming the world for your circumstances, for your outcome. You have to be the one to take action. You have to be the one to fight for your life. You are responsible for your well-being, for your life, for your outcome. So putting the blame on other people, putting the blame on your past, putting the blame on your family, maybe your friends, maybe your job, the narrative does expire. Having that victim mentality, you are only hurting yourself. And a lot of people with this mentality, they think that the world is against them. They think that it is their fault for their current circumstances, their current situations, that they can't get out of it. So these kind of people, they make excuses for where they are. And their excuses, them avoiding responsibility, avoiding accountability, it validates them for them to keep on progressing, to keep on moving forward. Growing up, I used to have so much resentment towards my family because mine and my sister's upbringing was kind of rough. Me and my sister, we would always have anger towards them. But I've learned that my parents was doing the best that they can at that time. So even if you have resentment towards your family, you cannot blame your family. You cannot blame your past relationship. You cannot blame anybody but yourself, because the narrative does expire. After a while, you have to take the blame. You got to take responsibility. You are responsible for your life. You cannot keep blaming other people. And I just think it's corny, and I also think it's lame. As much as it's quick to blame other people and constantly make excuses, you're not growing. You're not progressing. You know, your life is stagnant. You're going to keep making excuses. And when you keep doing that, you're going to have bad habits. Like, for example, some people, they get left out of these relationships and they're like, oh, but he left me. Oh, but she left me. This is why my life is the way it is. Okay. And maybe your life is hard. Maybe your life is tough right now. But are you going to keep staying there? Are you going to keep making excuses? Or are you going to do something about it? And I'm saying this because for a moment in my life, I had this towards my mom and my father. You know, me and my sisters, we grew up kind of struggling, and we would always put the blame on them. Like, you know, why didn't y'all give us a better life? Why couldn't y'all do the best that y'all can? But after a while, you start to grow. You start to realize, like, it's not anybody's fault. You know, it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault, but it's what you do about it. No matter how many circumstances or how many curveballs life is going to throw at you, are you going to keep complaining and keep making excuses and feel comfortable in your validation of excuses? Or are you going to get up and do something about it? I can't be around people that complain all the time. Me, I started going to the gym. I started working out because I'm not going to complain to everybody about my body. I'm not going to vomit my problems or my emotions to anybody, you know. And then there's moments where I do have depression and I do have anxiety, but what do? I get up and I go to the gym. For a while, I was like, I don't want to go to the gym because I don't want to take the bus, you know, because I don't like being out in public. But the more I kept saying that to myself, I noticed I was not growing, and I was feeling out of shape, and I did not like who I was, and I did not like who I was becoming, constantly making excuses, validating my actions. And then in the outcome, I'm the one who's hurting myself, and I'm the one who's being depressed because I'm making excuses, but I'm not doing anything about it. That's what having victim mentality is. You want to drown in your sorrows. You want everybody to feel bad for you. You want people to validate your excuses, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy because you're going to be back to square one. You know, you're not growing, you're not changing, you're not evolving. So what did I do? I take the bus to go to the gym. And now that I work out 3 days a week. I feel so much better. I stopped making excuses. Because your family, they gave you the life that you're having and you're struggling and it is hard and it is tough. It's not your fault, but what are you going to do about it? You're going to complain to your parents. You're going to complain to your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend that ever since they left you, your life is tough. You got to take care of the kids by yourself. Everything is becoming a challenge. Instead of complaining and making excuses to keep on complaining, do something about it. Take action. Take the necessary steps. I just can't stand when people complaining. That right there, when I'm around people and all they're doing is complaining, and they always have excuses, what are you gonna do about it? Like, are you gonna just sit there and you want me to feel bad for you? Because after a while, the narrative does expire. I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna feel sympathy for you. If you out there, you showing up, you bettering yourself, you taking the necessary steps, you're finding tools, resources to better yourself, better your life. You know, you're going to therapy to get in touch with their emotional feelings. I'm going to be proud of you. I'm going to applaud you. You're doing what you got to do for yourself because you are responsible for that. Now, I have a lot of friends. Most of them don't have fathers, and I feel bad and I sympathize with them. Just because they don't have fathers, I tell them, just because you didn't have a dad growing up, don't be that same example and do that to your kids. Break the generational cycle. Be a father. Be the father that you always wanted and never have. Don't stay in that victim mentality. You know, there's certain people in my family that they neglect their kids. They're women and they neglect their kids. Me, I've learned from that. I've learned not to ever do that to my daughter. I don't ever want to be like that. I would never want to repeat the cycle. So wherever you at in your life, whoever you surrounding yourself with, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's co-workers, if they're neglecting their kids, if they're making excuses, if they have this victim mentality, if they gave up on their goals and their dreams, does not mean you have to. Don't follow the path. Don't repeat their cycle. Don't take advice from them. Do better for yourself. Break that poverty mindset. Break the generational cycle, the trauma. Because having victim mentality is where you're going to suffer. You're going to keep on suffering. You're not going to grow. You're not going to elevate. Like I said, a lot of the things that happen to you, it may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility what you do about it. And no, it's not easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would change. Everybody would grow. Everybody would try to be a better person. But the reason why I'm telling y'all this is because my channel is all about self-love, but also breaking the generational cycle. And I just want y'all to break that cycle if you guys are living in that kind of circumstance or situation. But I also want y'all to better yourself. Take action. Take responsibility because you can do it. Once you hit rock bottom, you're only going to the top. You're not going down. You are already down. So keep thriving. Keep doing better for yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. Do something that's going to challenge you. Do something different. This is 2023, y'all. I just want us to live our best life. I want us to grow. I want us to elevate even more. Distance yourself from people that are not helping you grow, that are negative, that are toxic. Get out of those toxic situations. Get out of those toxic friendships, family. Find your vibe, find your tribe. And if you like more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back for more videos.